10 days ago, we received through the post a warrant for possession on the 23rd of July at 9 in the morning. That was very upsetting for my wife. Well, I wasn't too pleased either. And I was worse pleased, if there's such a thing, when this turned up at my door. You may recognise him, featured in many evictions. David Caress, an obnoxious, egotistical person. He's not a man. And they say that you can tell a man's soul through his eyes. This man, he's not wearing glasses. You're looking straight into his soul. That evil person takes homes from old people, from sick people, from young people with children, with no concern, and his friends. And the county court instigates this. The county court and the banks are complicit in fraud against the people, the men and women of this country. It's a genocide against us. The banks don't have any money left, so they're going after the property. My wife and myself paid for 25 years. We brought up 3 children in this little home. It's only a small bungalow. It's not worth a lot, not compared to other property, but it's our property. It's our land. But they're coming on the 23rd of July. So if you can come along and stand with my family and myself, shoulder to shoulder, to show these thugs and scum that they don't have any authority. People didn't give them this permission to do this. Governments, corporations did. They're not alive. They're dead entities. After 26 years, and in my 60s, it'll be very difficult to start again. We will, but I will battle. I'll not only battle for my family, I will battle for any other family now. They've started a war with me. Well, I've declared war on them. They may win a battle, but they won't win the war. Do what you can. The message out there. It can't go on. This is criminal. It's affecting my grandchildren, and their children will be affected. Your children, your grandchildren, your friends, your neighbours. They think they have the power. I've never been a revolutionist. I've always followed the law. I thought they would take care of me. And they did. Thank you. Whatever government was in power. But when the people speak, and they speak as one, and they stand together against these people, you have to let people know. It can't go on. It can't go on.
How are you, mate?
Good, thanks.
Yeah. What a day.
Been fantastic.
So, we all know the background to it. Can you just give us a brief outline of what's happened today, Son?
Well, basically, we all started turning up from early hours of this morning. In fact, a couple stayed in our back garden last night camping, and we've come this morning to support Tom in this attempted illegal, unlawful eviction. Tom has paid his mortgage for 25 years. He got into it was an endowment mortgage originally, but because most those don't understand is when you go to a bank and you apply for a mortgage and you fill out the agreement, you actually create the money there and then. The bank just then facilitates the credit back to you. But when you're filling out the agreements, they also get you unknowingly, although it is in the terms and conditions if you look closely, to sign over your power of attorney, which means they can then change that any agreement and write agreements for you, but by the bank in your absence, because you've given them power of attorney. And this is what's gone off here, and people have finally had enough and are waking up and saying, we're not having this anymore. The banks we know are corrupt. The government we know is bought and paid for by the banks, corrupt. And the people are now starting to stand up and say, we've had enough.
Yeah. So what's the message for the powers that be?
Your time's numbered, mate. If I was you, I'd get off to another country while you can, because when they come for you, and they're coming, I can't be held responsible for what they do. I know I wouldn't want you hanging, but I've got a feeling that many will.
Yeah. Fantastic day, guy.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
So what's your take on the proceedings?
Right, well, take on the proceedings, fantastic day. We've actually got people power in action. We've got probably 300 people, I expect, have come to Tom's house. They're trying to evict him on a fraudulent basis. We've forensically analysed the paperwork. There hasn't even been any proceedings against him. And he did a magnificent YouTube video where it was just a working man explaining his situation, and the public have acted and put their boots on the ground and supported him. So we've stopped. We've so far stopped it. They ain't going to get in there. So end of story.
This will send a message off, surely.
Well, it's got to. I mean, at the end of the day, what else can there be? If there's an abuse of the statutory process, we're entitled to use a common law defence, and a common law defence is practical action. And what a lot of people do is they get on the internet and they're typing away and getting steam coming off the keyboards when they should actually be engaging in practical actions, because you gain so much from it. Just being at a practical action with people in support, seeing that other people are in the same boat as you, that empowers you in itself. So what we're doing is we're trying to take it from two angles. We're firstly boots on the ground, so much support they're not able to enforce what they need to enforce, and secondly, looking at their documentation, which should be to the prescribed form. This is why we pay lawyers and judges so much money, because every T is supposed to be crossed, every I is supposed to be dotted, and it's all supposed to be exactly right, to the prescribed form. And upon scrutiny, we've discovered that they're never to the prescribed form, and that they've all been operating outside the boundaries afforded them by their own legislation, and the whole thing's a farce. So with Tom in particular, we've discovered that there hasn't even been any proceedings against him. It's just been fraudulent documentation. So the bailiffs, if they come there today, will get arrested, and simple as that. And we're hoping that the police will start waking up and start examining court documentation. And but that's the pincer movement. It's people power, people standing shoulder to shoulder, as Tom says, in support of each other. And that is on the one hand, so they don't enforce what they're trying to enforce. And then secondly, examining their documentation, looking at their documentation forensically, and finding out that it doesn't stand up to scrutiny.
Are we seeing a sea change then, Guy?
I would say so, yes. So I can honestly say, in the years that I've been doing this, I've been preaching to the converted at a lot of these events, whereby there's only been people that I know from all over the country, and there's been a group of us doing this for many years. Now members of the public are engaging on a daily basis, because everybody is getting things coming into their own event horizons. They're getting bailiff's letters, and they're getting, and if it's over £750, they'll make you bankrupt, and they'll take your house off you, and then they're like piranhas in a pool, and they'll take everything off you. And everybody's starting to get this happen to them. And so, yes, we've had people contacting us who never would have contacted us before. Over the last 2 or 3 months, it's become massive. And yeah, I think the public are starting to finally wake up to what's going on, and they realise that these people that have been engaged in these actions are not tinfoil hat wearers, that they're actually just... And we've been trying to support the public all the time, and now it's looking like it's come to fruition.
So we can, a lot of activists now can drop the paradigms and see the real enemy and the real.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
That's what we've been stuck in, isn't it? Different paradigms.
Yes.
We've not been working together, and you're right. The sea change is coming, isn't it?
That's right. So it's a sea change is coming because everybody's getting this. And if some guy can have his mortgage changed from an endowment mortgage, and then when he retires and thinks it's all over, changed to an interest-only mortgage, and then when you examine the paperwork, there hasn't even been a court process. There's been nothing. It can affect him. It can affect everyone. Everyone's got to wake up and realise this isn't this is a robbery going on. This is what's going on in this country at the moment. This isn't austerity. It's a robbery. And it is that simple.
They forced us to it.
They forced us to it. Well, this is what they wanted. This is what they got.
Yeah.
So
And there's only one winner.
Yeah, and it's us.
Nice one, guy. Afternoon, Carl. What's your take on the day?
Blown away with the numbers. This is, I think, the fourth eviction I've been to. First one was about 30 there. Second one there was only about 10 there. Turn up here and there's already 100, 150 people. I don't know what the estimate is, but I reckon 200. It's brilliant for the future. It's laying groundwork for more people standing up to these psychopathic idiots.
This is unprecedented today, but like you said there, you've been to previous ones where there's only been, say, 10 people,
Yeah.
still been successful.
Successful, yeah. And it's like I say, it's laid the groundwork for this to come along. And just hopefully more people can do it. And I just hope we don't come like 5 o'clock in the morning on him, like some of them have done at later dates on them. It's that's it really.
I think the next step, Carl, I don't know what you think, is when we're stopping evictions in the future, it's got to be community based.
Yes.
It's got to be your neighbours, it's got to be your family, your friends.
Yes.
It's all very well people being bussed in to stop this type of thing, which we'll do if we can. We'll help people. We've come as far away as Manchester, haven't we?
Yeah.
Today.
There's loads come from Manchester today.
Yeah.
But as well, I think we're starting to get outside the courthouses when the decisions are being made for the evictions. We might not get in there, but the numbers outside, it's sending a message out to them. We're not taking this bullshit off them.
No, that way, there's a lot of people saying we should actually take the fight to the bailiffs and start finding out where they live.
Well, yeah.
And going to visit them
Yes,
and ask their opinions on certain things.
Well, they're the foot soldiers of the corporate elite, aren't they? We're the foot soldiers of the working man. So yeah, we've got to take it straight to them because they're paid mercenaries at the end of the day, following orders. They're no different to the Nazis that were following orders when they kill people. Putting people out of their homes, making them homeless. It's could cause people to commit suicide and all sorts of horrible shit. I mean, last year in Oldham, the one where we stopped the eviction, and then we called the bailiffs to find out they went to an eviction afterwards, and a bloke had hung himself. That is the reason we're doing this. We don't want people taking their lives for something as debt. Debt? What's debt? Debt collectors, death collectors more like. So yeah, it's got to stop now. Now we can't have it going on much longer.
The line in the sand.
Yeah, line drawn now. Yeah.
Well done, Carl. Afternoon, Pete.
Hi.
Yeah, so you've seen what the events this morning.
Yeah.
What's your take on it?
I think it's absolutely brilliant. How many people are there? A couple of hundred or something? And
Estimates up to 300.
yeah, really. Yeah. So this is a major success. And it would have been nice if the bailiffs had come round. As far as I know, they still haven't. But it would have been nice because there's plenty of stuff that they need talking to about. But if by just sheer force of numbers we've managed to stop them coming, then that's fantastic.
Well, this is
It
really.
needs to happen all over the country.
Well, this is a shining example, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is.
For people to follow. We don't necessarily get these numbers, but 20 to 30 people stops eviction.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I've been asking a few people as to what's open, what powers are open to the bailiffs after this. And one opinion is that if they don't come today, then they've got to apply for it all again. But it seems to be a bit of a grey area. So we need to wise up on what their actual powers are, so that we know for the future just exactly how it's all going to go after. There's a whole general point that I'm really interested in, is the fact that I personally think that eviction should be outlawed completely. For whatever reasons, I can't see any justification for people to be thrown out of their homes, whether they actually owe money or not. I really don't see why why that should be a sanction that's open to anybody.
It's just taken as read, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's just,
that's right. And the population as a whole is more or less brainwashed into thinking that eviction is normal, debt is normal, and to my mind, that none of those things are normal. They're a form of mental illness, really. To even assume that it's okay to impose that stuff on people. And there's a lot of people here that agree with that as well.
well, the one unifying factor is debt.
Yeah, debt.
That's right. Ironically, it will be debt that frees us.
Yeah, yeah. And we just heard this morning that there was somebody was awarded in court a case against the banks, which pretty much proves that the mortgage is a fraud anyway. So that's gonna empower a lot of people too.
So we've got people in the courts doing the work, and we've got foot soldiers on the ground protecting homes. Fantastic! What a fantastic day.
That's right.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah, okay, mate.
Cheers, pal. So we've had a fantastic day. We know the sort of background to it, chaps. So what's your conclusions?
Very successful. The bailiffs haven't turned up. They did what a lot of people expected. They become what they are, cowards and bullies. And cowards and bullies don't come and face any man. What are you going to say?
I agree totally. If they had any bottle whatsoever, they would at least come up and done what they said they were going to do in the paperwork. And the fact they've not turned up shows they know their paperwork is fraudulent.
And the police didn't assist them because we would have had the police arrest the bailiffs for the corruption that's coming from the court.
It'd be nice to think that this would be the end of it all, but we know that's not going to happen. So where do you see things going, Tom?
Yeah, well, in my little video I said the banks declared war on me. Well, I've declared war on them, and tomorrow I'll be back in the court putting in something that they won't like. I can't tell you now.
But you'll keep us posted.
I'll keep you posted, yes.
So overall, a fantastic day at
Absolutely, and the response from up and down the country has been absolutely amazing. Wonderful
it's
people.
Local. It's countrywide, isn't it? It's countrywide. There's people from all sorts of places.
Yeah, Scotland, Wales, Australia,
Manchester.
Manchester. I can't forget Manchester. Yeah, South London. Sorry, you name it. And they're only here to stand up to bullies, and the bullies didn't like it.
No.
No, so.
And like normal bullies, they backed away when they had a confrontation.
Well, they didn't even go to a confrontation.
It didn't even need a confrontation, did it? It didn't even come to that.
And it's now 4:30 in the afternoon, and we're still here, happy and waiting for anyone to come and try, but we don't think they're going to.
No, and there's still a group of lads, because the lady at the pub opened up and supported the community. And there's still a load up there will come.
There's about 150 left now.
About 150.
That opened earlier, no, didn't it?
Yeah, and she's 9 months pregnant almost. That's how much.
And she's been coming down keeping check as well.
Yeah,
She wasn't checking 9 months ago, was she?
That's all it's about. That shows the community supporting the cause.
That's why they're trying to kill them. When we reunite that, we win every time.
Today could be one of them days where people will ask.
Benchmark.
People ask, were you there that day?
Yeah, were you on the day of the event when it all started to come together for the people?
A big thank you then, Tom, on behalf of all the people here and all the people watching this on YouTube, because you've been very brave and you've made a stand, and you're to be admired, mate.
The thing, I can't thank people because going back to your question,
Exactly, we've got to be
I don't have
every
words
time.
to thank these people. It's beyond words. Yeah, you do. I mean,
we can feel it from here, brother.
yeah. And my wife, well,
Everybody knows.
she's
Been a great day.
she supported me when I couldn't do anything. But these bailiffs are putting her through hell, because she'll lie in bed now, wondering will there be a bang at the door, and that is terrorism.
It is exactly that.
And they should be arrested. Yeah.
Terrorising people, terrorising communities.
Well, do what you did the last time, put another video out.
Oh no, see what happens with a perfect.
The power of it.
And with the help of this gentleman beside me, Salon, absolutely brilliant. And Guy, Mr. Ebert. Well, I'm not going through because I can't name you all.
This can't end.
Thanks very much for your time, Tom.
All right.
We win.
Thank you.
Thank you.